Okay. So this is only my second time doing this. Can I share this? Who cares? This is only my second time doing a hobby stream. And again, sorry I didn't have any notice, but really it's just like, hey, I gotta do some sculpting tonight on Dominatrix 3. That is not something that's easy to say. Tyranid Dominatrix that I'm working on for a client. So I figured people sometimes are like, hey, you should live stream when you're sculpting. And I'm like, yeah, but you don't understand how boring my sculpting is. It's just doing stuff like this and filling it in. Ooh, hi, Jacob Foster. Oh, there's 3 people here. That's cool. Hope you guys are doing some Whip Wednesday. How are we supposed to say that? Some Whip Wednesday stuff as well. Anyway, so when I say sculpting, I mean taking this piece of plastic card and covering it with epoxy clay, which is not very exciting. But I'll show you how to do it, because I got to do it anyway. So if people are interested, here it is. Just trying to get myself some more area with my very tenuous rig. Crude Buddies. Oh god, I should know who you are. What's your real name? Well, I'm glad to have you as a Crude Buddy. Tonight we're working on some Tyranids. Yeah. So this is the Dominatrix sketch that I'm working from. This was done by Warren Beatty, a very talented Tyranid artist. Back at... Oh, fostered son. Oh, dude. Okay, hey, wait, welcome. Also, I watched my last stream, and I realized it's really random when I respond to comments, because I just randomly say shit. But I'll do that from time to time. So back in the day, Warren Beatty drew this really cool 4th edition version of a Tyranid Dominatrix from Epic back in the day. So this is the version that I'm more or less working from to build this beastie. Spit an image, eh? Tail's probably not going to be as long. Body might be a little longer. Anyway, this is what I'm being inspired by. But this is what I'm actually working on. So I've been working on this for about a year, off and on. Mostly off, not on. And it's for a very, very patient client. It's a commission. Yeah. So tonight I just have to... There was a time when I thought I was going to convert a Forge World hair dual to make this, but the reality is that I'm pretty much sculpting this thing from scratch. At this point, the hair dual is kind of a nice suggestion for where things should be. I want this to be over here. But if you look at this thing, the only pieces of the original hair dual that persist are this, and a little bit here, and a little bit here. Oh, and I guess the head. Where's the head? The head has a little more of the original. So I've extended the head, chopped it here, and then brought the front out. And I've added some gross scribbly teeth on there. How's that? Hey, how you doing? Some people have said this reminds them of like not bobbit worm. Anglerfish teeth. These crazy teeth. Probably not productive, but they look great. So that's the giant head. Adam, dude, good to see you, buddy. Look, I'm just like you, Adam, doing a hobby stream. Good to see you. Yeah, these fangs are they're almost entirely from the zombie dragon kit. There's a lot of really weird spikes on it. I don't think they're all supposed to be teeth, but I've never actually bought a zombie dragon. I just have like bits from 3 of them, because my buddy Josh buys models and then just gives me stuff. So yeah, that's where most of these teeth came from. I think some of them back here from a Carnifex kit, but pretty much everything else is zombie dragon. Those are actually zombie dragon teeth, and I think these are some kind of spikes on the kit, maybe like weird spiky ribs. So there's the guy's head. Yeah, it's a cool, like, the zombie dragon's a cool kit. It's got a lot of really neat bits in it, and I didn't really realize until I got it. And I think a lot of people buy it to get that cool the rider dude who's like a super vampire, but then they just get rid of the kit. So I think that's what my buddy did, and he gave me the kit. So there's the head. Yeah. Anyway, now to do some actual sculpting filling stuff. There's also going to be a zone throw up on the back of this, because of course you need some kind of psychic Tyranid beastie directing things. And that's all the bits from there. Okay. It's funny, when I was doing the Necron Warriors, I was like, wow, this work area is way too big. What I'm working on is so small, and now this is very large. I also don't know how to fix white balance on this, so please bear with me. I'm looking to upgrade my kit for this. I finally got one of those impossible to find, there's that webcam that Wirecutter recommends that is apparently the be-all and end-all of webcams. So I got one of those because I didn't realize that I think my phone cannot stream on YouTube at 1080. I think it like does something less than that, because when I looked at the Necron stream that I did, it looked very chunky. Okay, so today, got my cream, my Nivea. It always puts the lotion on its tools. Puts the lotion on its tools or it gets the hose. I've got my sculpting putty of choice today. It's going to be Epoxy Clay. So this is made by Aves, which is the people who do epoxy sculpt. Epoxy Clay is like Epoxy Sculpt, but it's a little bit harder. So it's good for... Epoxy Sculpt is pretty hard, but this is good for reinforcing. It's also a lot kind of more sandable and cuttable than Epoxy Sculpt. Cutting this stuff... Let's see if I have anything I need cutting. It's like butter. I can't really describe it. Because it's pretty hard, but when you gotta cut it, it just like, it's just a wonder. Ooh, yeah, ooh, look at how smooth that is. Oh, look at that. Oh, look at the way it curls. Oh, yeah. And like, it's pretty hard, but it's pretty easy to carve pieces off or cut pieces off if you need to. So this is a new material that the fine folks at Aves sent me to try out. Epoxy Clay, and I also got some Epoxy Fix-It, which I haven't done as much with. But the clay is really good because I'm bulking up these parts, but I don't know if I can find an example of it. Because I'm sculpting so much here and I'm sculpting onto like plastic cards and stuff like that, weird shit happens. Like, got a gap forming there that I have to deal with. But I've noticed that the stress that some of these are under has caused this underlying stuff is milliput and green stuff. Milliput superfine white. Oh. Great, love that kit. I will have to look at Epoxy Clay. Yeah, Adam, it's cool. And like, of course, Adam, you live in the United States, so you can get it very easily. The way I describe it is that epoxy sculpt is, need some fuel. Epoxy sculpt is like, it's very soft when you're sculpting with it. A lot softer than green stuff. This stuff has like a kind of a slightly stiffer texture than Epoxy Sculpt, and then Fix-It, the other stuff, is kind of in between Epoxy Sculpt and Epoxy Clay, and when I was testing it out, I swear it had some qualities... Oh, cool, Jacob. I think you're in the States, Jacob? All the crew guys seem to be in the States. If you're in the States, you can get epoxy stuff really easily, because Aves is based in the States, and I think they ship it basically anywhere. But, yeah, the clay is harder than Epoxy Sculpt. Actually, I'll get some of it out. I don't know if you can really see. I'll really be able to show you what it's like working with. But if you've used Epoxy Sculpt before, it's similar. It has that annoying silt thing that all epoxy products do, but I put up with them because they are cheap and amazing. So need some water on your tools. Always wet your tools so that they don't get gummed up with this junk. Just like get out of here, fly. Get out of here, Tyranid friends. Oh, my phone is getting warm. Features will be limited. Hopefully streaming is not limited. Oh, maybe I should take my case off. That might help. I should get a slick fan. Cool this thing out. Okay, please bear with me for a moment. Let's get this off. For frack's sake. Most professional stream ever. Okay, let's do that. So we can get you back in the rig. Oh, it's because I'm charging my phone while I'm trying to do this. Maybe that's... What the hell? No! Why did that happen? There we go. Saw a nice view of my ceiling there. All right, back to your regularly scheduled programming. My phone is at 50%. Maybe my phone will survive. Maybe I just won't charge it. Maybe that'll keep it from overheating. All right, so I think I dug this out. Yeah, okay. Getting good setup is not easy. Yeah, well, you figured it out. You make it look easy. I actually like the silt thing. Jacob, why do you like the silt part of Epoxy Sculpt? I know you can like use the water thing, and that's kind of cool about the silt thing, but it's just messy. I feel like that's the one thing that green stuff does better. There's no silt. Thanks, Adam. This setup is really easy. When I bought that fancy webcam that everyone has been buying, it's a Logitech something or other, I was just like, hey, if I'm going to use this for streaming, I should probably have one of those Gorilla Pod tripod things that like wraps its arms around stuff. And I just literally got one of those Gorilla, like some made in China one that was available on where I was buying my webcam. And I'm like, oh, I'll get the Gorilla Pod thing, whatever. And I just wrapped it around my fluorescent daylight triple bright light. And fortunately, the rig and my phone are not that heavy. Let's see if we can make it. Yeah, right. So yeah, I just like attach the Gorilla thing to my daylight light, and that means that I can do this. Ooh, except for it's randomly too heavy and it'll randomly drop. Okay, so you get part A and part B of Epoxy Clay, just like you would with Epoxy Sculpt. I've already got some silt issues going on here. So get your hands wet, wear gloves if you are more patient than me, and then you just mix them together. So you can notice that, is it part A or part B? I think it's part B, is stiffer than you'd expect with Epoxy Sculpt. It's got a stiffness that's closer to the blue stuff and green stuff. So just mix it together. It's still pretty soft. Like, it's still not going to be... I think I'd still describe it as a little bit softer than green stuff. But when it sets up, the Epoxy Clay is a lot harder than just Epoxy Sculpt on its own. I'm pretty sure you can mix Epoxy Clay. That you can see that nice silt. This is normal if you're using Epoxy Sculpt. I'm pretty sure you can mix Epoxy Clay with green stuff. I had this... When I first got the Epoxy Clay and the Epoxy Fix-It, I tried mixing it with green stuff in this kind of like test video that I still haven't put out, but I have it somewhere. And one of them didn't cure. And I think it was Fix-It plus green stuff didn't cure. And I think I've since mixed Epoxy Clay with green stuff. And it does cure, but it might take a little longer than just the standard mix of Epoxy Sculpt and green stuff, which it works very well together. Okay. Get the silt off. Get some nice shots of my arm there. So, like Epoxy Sculpt, it'll stretch a bit, but it rips. It doesn't stretch like green stuff, which is to be expected. But it is a little stiffer than green stuff, which means it's harder, which means it creates better like structural integrity. That's why I'm using it on the Dominatrix to reinforce these pieces of plastic card. So I got this kind of like lumpy shape for the arm. Did this with Milliput Superfine White and green stuff. It was recommended by Bits of Box, and it's really good. Like, it's pretty solid. Oh wow, that is very solid. But I don't love Milliput because Milliput also does that weird silt thing, but I feel like it does the silt thing in a way that's more annoying than... It's much more messy than Epoxy Sculpt. Yeah, so this is like the alternative to Milliput Superfine White plus green stuff is just Epoxy Clay, and it's more sturdy. Okay, so do I want to sculpt on this guy, or do I just want to reinforce this arm? So what I was saying is that when I kind of lumped in how the different limbs were going to be, it was very like rounded. It was very much like one of those wooden human dudes that you use to pose things. And honestly, it was uninspiring. I kept looking at the thing and being like, this looks like crap. What the hell? But then I kind of had the revelation that it's a Tyranid. It needs to have more kind of angles to it, like the kind of angles you're seeing showing up here, where there's like an angle here, and there's an angle here, and there's like an angle here, which you can see from here that the plate kind of comes out. And building that up in putty is tough. You can do it, but it's annoying. So I had the bright idea of taking a length of... What the hell is it? Oh, crap. I'm going to break everything. A length of this stuff. So polystyrene tube, plastic tube. Cutting it at an angle like this. And then just kind of like bending it open to make it more flat like this. So that looks like a much larger bore, but that's... I'm pretty sure that's this one. But I just cut it here and then folded it open and then cut the angle that I wanted. And then, of course, it's easy to trim after. Same thing here. Back here, that's what's under this structure. You can see a little bit of it here. But that's a piece of plastic card that I've built up with the putty. Same here. You can see it much more obviously here. It's a piece that I filled it in on the inside and then fill it in on the outside. Just to get those more kind of aggressive angles to the plates, well, I guess not plates, the limbs of the Tyranid, just to make it less bulbous and round and dumb like this. So I guess I'll do that on this one. Where are you going to go? Don't need to show you that I have water anymore. Don't need to show you that I have epoxy sculpt. Okay, so you just want to reinforce it on both sides. So on this side, this is the part that connects the body, so kind of like stringy connective tissue, and then here just filling out the plate and maybe getting in here and bulking out this shape. You can put this stuff in the freezer if you mix up a ton of it and you don't get to use it all right away. Just take what you're going to use, put the rest in the freezer, and it'll keep for at least a day, depending on how cold your freezer is. I got a bar fridge in here and it only really works for a day. But if you have a real freezer, it can stay for maybe 2 days. And better if you put it in the freezer as soon as you mix it up. So, get this in here. Of course, the one thing I'm not good at, I always get little hairs in my putty, but whatever. They tend to kind of go away or get mashed in, but they annoy me. So this is the epoxy clay. It's really smooth to work with. Another tip that I don't think I've really gone into in my other sculpting videos is that when you're sculpting something this big, one of the coolest tools you can use for smoothing this stuff around is your fingers. So you get some of your Nivea and you keep it on the back of your hand because that's a good place to keep it. And then literally you just lube up your fingers and you can just kind of work this around because you're not doing fine detail. You're just kind of blending it with the rest, smushing it around. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get it in under that plate to reinforce it from behind. And then I'm going to sculpt in the detail because I don't want the plastic card just sticking out, both because it looks too geometric and because then it could snap off. So I'm going to reinforce it from both sides with the epoxy clay. So I'm just getting some more Nivea on my fingers. Get out of here, fly. And it's seriously so easy to just smooth this with your fingers. When you've got them all lubed up, there's that nice black hair I picked up from God knows where. So just kind of cramming it in there to fill that gap. Don't think you have in your videos, but you have on your blog. You're using your knuckle fingers on. Okay, whatever. Yeah, I talk about putting the cream on my hands, but the sculpting with fingers thing is it's only really useful when you're sculpting at large scale, but especially sculpting organic stuff at large scale. I think I've bragged about it before, but when I made this tail, I literally took my finger and went like this, or no, I think I used this finger and I went like this, and I went like this, and I went like this, and like that to get these kind of like divots along the tail, like just to shape it, because it was so long and it was just one big piece of putty. And then I could just go back in with my handy dandy sculpting tool and just like cut these in and clean them up. But yeah, use your fingers. It's good times. Like smoothing this all around, I was using my fingers. All right, that is... This is more than I need for this bit, but that's fine. So I just want to preserve that kind of divot in behind the plate. That's kind of mashing out. Oh, right, keep it in the frame. Maybe I should do this because this is where I feel comfortable sculpting. And then I'll get a tool. I was trying to sculpt this with these attached to the body, which was annoying, and this is going to be a lot easier. So got my silicone shaper, get some Nivea on there. Again, you don't need a ton. No, you don't have to wash the model after. It is water-based, so it is friendly. And just kind of... Oh, I don't have very much putty there. That's not good. Top part's the part that matters. So Adam, I was listening to your cast earlier from last night with your buddy, and your challenge with the Blood Bowl thing, creating a Blood Bowl team. I feel like I should actually do this challenge, unlike I didn't do for the OC Bone Boys, because literally in a box over there I have probably 3 or 4 Blood Bowl teams that I just high graded for conversion bits, because Blood Bowl is paradise for conversion bits. I think I've got the skeleton guys because they've got good shoulder pads to steal. I've got the plague dudes because they've got nice fat bodies to steal, and they've got really good zombies. And then what else do I have? I got the dark elf guys because they have dinosaur kind of robes. Oh, I guess they're dragon scale, like dragon scale robes. And I ripped those off for my group boys. And what else do I have? Is that all of them? So I have at least 3 teams. None of them are complete, so maybe I should just do like a mashup of the different teams. But yeah, I could get in on that. They are very good models. There was someone who did an amazing conversion of Adeptus Arbites, Arbites, what do we call them? Judge Dredd, with the human team. And I had dreams of doing that because my brother's obsessed with Arbites. But I never got around to it, and I don't think I bought the human team. One thing I've noticed sometimes with Epoxy Clay is that sometimes Epoxy Clay and Nivea doesn't work. Well, it works, but it doesn't play nicely with each other. You'll get like a Nivea diluted silt on your tool. But I find that more when I'm working in large areas. And that's when I go back to the old finger technique. But I don't know why. Okay, get some connective tissue here. This is not going to be seen. This is going to be shoved up against the body, so I don't know why I'm stressing. So yeah, I was listening to your podcast, not your podcast, your hobbycast, Adam, while I was chopping down either a very small tree or a very large branch over my garage earlier, because, you know, that's what I get up to when I finish a day of work and I want to, you know, become an amateur arborist. And fortunately, I did not crash the giant thing down into the garage and destroy it. So that is my accomplishment for today. I work out of my garage. It's kind of like my hobby studio. It was a really gross garage, and I've worked hard over the years to clean it up and make it kind of a little fancier, a little nicer. I think I've posted a video of it on my Instagram, but we've been joking that there's this hideous, I think it's a Manitoba maple or something. It's like a weed tree that's in our neighbor's backyard, but unfortunately, being a weed tree, it grows at like all angles. So it started in my neighbor's backyard, and it's grown over like 3 other backyards and our garage. So the joke is that as soon as we're finished making this into the man cave of my dreams, that fucking tree is going to come crashing down through the roof. So today was Operation Stop Tree from Ruining Man Cave by trying to take some off of it. Totally interesting and exciting, and I know this is the kind of content that you're all here for, but thanks for making that task a little less mindless, Adam, because I was listening to the Between the Bolter and Me hobbycast from last night, and it kept me sane. And now, because I have this weird, I don't know if it's synesthesia or what it is, whenever I go up on my roof of my garage and I'm looking at the remains of that tree, I'll think about Blood Bowl teams. Because that's what you guys were talking about. Yeah, it felt like a worthwhile task. It felt like I achieved something. But you know. Okay, that connective tissue is not gorgeous, but like I said, it's going to be shoved in against the body, so really I just wanted to make sure that there was some texture here. I could always go in and fix it later, the parts that are evident when it's shoved in next to the body. I'm not worried about this part because I'm going to bring this plate around to cover it, but more worried about this bit. So you guys on Between the Bolter and Me, Adam, you're talking about the Blood Bowl, and you're mentioning that we've got the new Blood Bowl box, but you guys didn't really talk about the new models, like the human models, and I thought you were going to, because they look like some good Inquisitor boys. Some fancy feathers and stuff, you could grimdark those up. They would fit perfectly in some kind of inquisitorial warband. You guys didn't even touch on that. So disappointed. All right, next I'm going to fill in the this section. Can you see that? There we go. Maybe I should move this over. Thanks for the 2 likes. Whoever shared the 2 likes, that was very kind of you. There are aspects of them that would be good for conversions. Yes, they're squatty as heck. Don't like them too much, eh, Adam? That seems like par for the course for you boys. They're definitely squatty, the new Blood Bowl humans, but I think that could be corrected. And always into new human models, me. That's why Necromunda and Blood Bowl are so good. Hello from the north of UK. David, whereabouts? I've been to the north of UK, man. I've been to, I don't know if the Lake District is considered the north of the UK. Depending on how you define the UK, I've been to John O'Groats, but that may be Scotland and may not be the UK, depending on how you do. But welcome from the north of UK. I feel like the north of the UK is the good bit. I mean, I say that. I haven't seen the rest of the UK that much, but yeah, it was really cool up there. Lake District, Scotland, definitely. Scotland, I love. Been to the very north of Scotland on a crazy Scotch road trip with a buddy of mine. Stayed with his cousin in Castlefield, I want to say. Darlington and the Lakes is west, way west to me. Darlington, I don't know where Darlington is. We got a Darlington in Ontario here in Canada. It's where a nuke plant lives. So if the Lakes is west, okay, so you're like more east. So is that Leeds? No, Leeds is further south probably. Clearly I should study more UK geography. All right. This is not. Wait, that's not what I'm referring to. About 45 minutes from Newcastle. Ah, Newcastle. The birthplace of railways. Wow, that's pretty cool. The new Blood Bowl Orcs. I don't know, Adam. Blood Bowl Orcs. Have you not seen some pictures leaked today? And the new Blood Bowl Orcs, the Black Orcs, I think they are. Yeah, your doubts seem to be confirmed. It's a crappy picture, crappy grainy picture, but there was a photo that I saw on Twitter today of new Blood Bowl Orcs, and they look like rough in the sense that like they could kick your butt. Like they look kind of like hardy, some hardy boys, but hardy boys. See what I did there? They I wasn't as impressed by the Blood Bowl Orcs from that hazy, crappy potato phone picture as I was by the humans. Because I feel like the other Blood Bowl Orcs were pretty good. Like all the fantasy orcs that they've released of late, they're like that Iron Jaw. Is that what they're calling them now? They're that like hardcore orc look, like tough armor, big tough boys. I like that. These guys, they looked big and tough, but they looked really squatty. Like all their midsection detail was basically lost. Yeah, the humans look wonky, but you can just like add a thorax and they'll be fine. But I had high hopes for the orcs because fantasy orcs have been very nice. People have done some very good non-fantasy orc conversions with those bodies because they're so big and muscly. And if you know anything about me, it's that I love big muscly bodies on my miniatures because they're all Dark Eldar grotesques waiting to happen. Waiting for a place to... Wait, looking for. You're the worst hip fan ever. Looking for a place to have pain, making stops along the way. Hey, Shakache, right this way. Okay, sorry. See what I'm doing here? I'm just using my fingers to move this stuff around. Okay, I wish I had a little more epoxy sculpt here, but maybe this is not epoxy clay. I feel like it should be a little thicker, but I guess compared to the other one, it's about the same thickness because I need it to come further down. Like, if you see the gap here, it's not very big, and the gap here is huge, so I gotta fill that in a bit more. Really, I should just mix more up, but I think what I can do is I'll push this down to get it to the level that I want it, to get the edge, and then I can always fill in this stuff later. Jacatier, right this way. Put your coat up on the fan. Hey man, you got the real bum's eye for clothes. Also, got to remember, this is the bottom side, not going to be as visible. Also, this is not finished sculpting, so I can kind of bring that through here. And this is the top side. This is the money shot, part that matters. Shakache, right this way. Put your coat up on the bed. Hey man, you got the real bum's eye for clothes. Ooh, come on in, sit right down. No, you're not the first to show. You've all been here since God who knows. So one thing I didn't really think about when I was doing this one is I just kind of like lumped it in. But one thing that came to me when I was doing this one was the really... Honestly, I sculpt shit and it just kind of happens. And I mean, maybe I look good, but it's just trial and error. It's just error and excellent coincidence. I built this one and I didn't really plan for this shape to look like this like curve here, but I really liked it. And I did a curve here, so I kind of tried to replicate it here, and it got even more curvy, and there's like this kind of curve here and this, and I really like the look of it. So when I look at this, it's just kind of like flat across, and I want to do some more of this curvy business to make it look more interesting. In fact, this should even be more curvy, so I'm going to try and work a curve into this. Because it comes up here, I think I want to curve down here. I don't know if I have enough putty. I should really just mix up more putty. But let's see what we can do. So angle, curve here, and then this could curve in. So it looks like the plates almost like interlock with each other. And I like that there's a curve in here. Seriously, fingers, great tools. When I sculpted the Tyranid terrain for the big Tyranid table I did, Jesus, like 10 years ago, a lot of that was done with fingers, and it works well. See, now we got a curve, so this thing kind of like slots into it a bit. I should probably use a tool for that. Oh, this might not be in focus at all, because I've got a grid behind it. Okay, if it's shitty focus, I'm really sorry. Also, the only bone I have with using epoxy sculpt and epoxy stuff is that it is light. So I feel like it's not always as easy to track the detail you're sculpting as it is on stuff like green stuff, which is darker. Epoxy sells tinted clays, so you could get, if you really want to cheat, you could just like buy green epoxy sculpt and be like, oh, I'm using green stuff. Oh my god, I'm so much better than you. You didn't have any idea that I'm secretly using a superior material. Ooh, I'm licking this curve. So they do have tinted putties, but I once bought a pink putty because, you know, Mr. Pink. I thought it would be hilarious, and I swear to God that the tinted putty did not perform as well as the non-tinted putty. It's also the case that with Epoxy Sculpt, you can get it in a bunch of different tints, but I don't know if they have as many tinted options for the clay. Oh, it's been good, Jacob? Okay, that's good. Focus is good, apparently. Thank you for that. The tinted putty didn't perform. I don't know. It felt more like gritty or something. It's probably just imagining it. So I don't love tinted epoxy products. I rather get the natural. But saying that, I think when I bought this clay, they only had the white version, which is like trying to masquerade more like clay. Oh no, there's a natural version which looks more like clay, and then there's a white version. So this is the white version, and it was all they had. But it works fine. It's just that you don't get the contrast is a little harder. I don't know if it's the contrast. Something about the color doesn't show up as well in photography and in video. Like I guess you got a pretty good detail there. But yeah, slightly darker might show up slightly better. But this is working. Ooh, man! Now I'm hoping I can see. This is what I do. I go and I sculpt this, and I'm like, oh man, I did such a good job. Now I'm going to do this side. I'm going to screw it up. And I sculpt this. I'm like, ooh, that's even better. Now I'm going to go back here and fix this. So now that I see this arm, I want to go back and fix this arm. Oh, I can just cut this out. Because like I said, oh, I wish that was like his elbow, but maybe it is. Like I said, this stuff is easy to cut. But yeah, I'm going to have to fix that because this, oh shit. I'm going to tell you a little something about sculpting. When you're not a professionally trained sculptor and you just kind of learn it on the fly, sculpting Tyranids, because Tyranids are easy to sculpt because they're organic, you'll like if you sculpt a lot, you'll like get into like a groove, and then you don't sculpt for a while, and you don't lose it. You just are not as grooved. You're not as groovy as you used to be. And then like you'll go and you'll sculpt something like this, and I'm actually really happy with how this is coming out. And honestly, it's luck of the draw. Just pushing it around, pulling it around, pushing it around, and then it came out nice. So I am not a planner. I'm just a doer. And sometimes doing works. And sometimes you get something beautiful and you fuck around with it for too long and you fuck it up like that. And you gotta fix it. No matter what it takes, if the color is different, it would mean difference chemical formula. Yeah, you're right, Jacob, that the pigments that they put in the epoxy sculpt, there is a very slight difference in the chemical formula. I'm pretty sure they do it in such a way that it doesn't have a significant effect on anything, and I'm probably just being obsessive, but I did feel like it was slightly different and I didn't love it. But maybe I should give it another chance. Maybe I should dig out that pink epoxy sculpt that I still have somewhere, because how cool would it be if I sculpted everything in pink? God, the haters would hate it. Okay, so this is the top. That's the thing. It's more going to slot in here than it is here, but can I move this over? I can probably move this over. This is the benefit of sculpting these things underneath. They're there, and you can like move this thing all over, and then you can just like dig out the ones underneath as you need them. So yeah, whenever possible, I don't like sculpting. I like sculpting in the vascular structures. That's what I call these. I don't know, the ribs and stuff. Like this, like I sculpted in the vascular structures, and then I'll like sculpt in the vent around them. However, these limbs were not thick enough, so I'm probably going to cover these over, and I might have to like dig back in and add vascular structure. Not ideal, but whenever possible, like these I sculpted first, and then I sculpted the plates around them. Same here. These ribs I sculpted first, and then I put the plates around them. That's the easier way to do it. You can do it the other way, but just like getting in here and getting those in would be a pain in the butt. Much easier to do it before. But what I was trying to say about sculpting is that you just got to do it. And sometimes it comes out and like you're hating something, and then you just push it a certain way, and voila, you got it. It is all about practice and making happy mistakes. Isn't that what what's his name calls them? Painter, big hair, Bob Ross. Is that the guy? Does he talk about happy mistakes? Or is that Goober Town? I feel like they're the same person. Bob Ross reincarnated as Goobertown Hobbies. Oh, that looks hideous. Thanks, Adam. It is indeed Bob Ross. Oh, this is not. Keep moving around. And you can get stuff like at this size, you can get stuff pretty smooth with your fingers. They're just like silicone shapers that are attached to your hand. How fun is that? I should clean this up, but that's for later. I want you to fill. Oh, you kind of slot in there. This is the top. I'm going to kind of curve this around and have it curve up in here. And then this can curve to accept it. Jacob, you take all the time you need, buddy. I'll be here in 10 minutes. Don't you worry. I'll see you then. Get yourself a tasty beverage. So we got Jacob. Is it David from the north of the UK? And Adam. We got 7 people on this. Yo! If anyone else is actually watching this and not just having it on in the background and you want to type, send me a comment. Let me know who you are and where you're coming from. Because 7, that's a good number. Hope you're all doing your own Whip Wednesday work. Good day to work on hobby stuff. I don't know how it is anywhere else, but I think a lot of us were having like a crazy heat wave, possibly in North America, possibly all over the world lately. But it's finally broken here in Toronto. So it's nice. This is the temperature that I love. I'm basically a White Walker. I hate the heat. I love the cold. This is like 20 degrees. Yeah, that's right, American. 20 degrees Celsius. It's like 20 degrees here, and it is beautiful. It is perfect. I have no idea why I'm talking about that right now. This is what Canadians do when they don't know what to talk about. They talk about the weather. Oh, yeah, how's it going, eh? Oh, yeah. Oh, great, eh? Oh, how about this weather we're having? Yeah, you know, eh? I think I might head up to the cottage this weekend. Oh, yeah, make sure you get a twofer. Get yourself a twofer for the cottage there, bye. Okay, now I'm getting newfie. That's a bit much. But yeah, we talk about the weather. I don't know why. It's 2. Whoa, David, it's 2 a.m. Oh, right. No, we whip right now. Be doing some Necrons tomorrow, though. It's still pretty hot in Maryland. Oh, yeah. God, I don't know. I don't really realize, but like Maryland, New York, those places are like way further south than I think they are. Or maybe it's just kind of some like, I don't know, Gulf Stream something or other. But New York is always like stank ass hot compared to Toronto. And I don't feel like it's that much further south, but I feel like Maryland and Washington are about the same. 32 degrees. God, Adam, I'm sorry. I hope you have air conditioning. Adam, David, what are you doing at 2 a.m. watching this junk? I'm recording this. It'll be up tomorrow. You can go to sleep, bud. I mean, I'm happy to have you, but just letting you know. If you need to go to sleep, you go right ahead. Because this is not exactly riveting stuff, and I promise if I don't screw it up on YouTube, I'm recording it, and I'll post it tomorrow. Or tonight. So you can watch it later. 32 degrees in Texas, Jacob. That does not surprise me. I feel like Texas should always be 32 degrees. I hope you're staying safe in Texas. We hear some crazy things about that place. Texas and Florida. Apparently these are the places where the world is ending right now. This is not making me happy. This makes me happy. This is ugly. I can fix that. It's a nightmare, Jacob. This is what we dozed off earlier, so currently awake and unable to sleep. Oh man, I hate that. Happens to me all the time. I feel you, David. Maybe I should be more like monotone so I can lull you to sleep. Maybe I should do my impression of a weir. Hey guys, my name is Adam. What did we say my name was gonna be? What's my weir brother name? We've got Adam, and we've got Eric. I'm not doing a good weir voice right now. Sorry guys, I'm feeling you. Joys of children. Oh man. That is challenging, David. I feel like my weird name might have been David. Too much like Goobertown voice. No, oh man. Can I do Goobertown? Hey guys, so I'm just gonna sculpt this Dominatrix here. Oh, yeah. Man, I'm gonna sculpt this Dominatrix in 24 hours. Because I'm Goobertown Hobbies, and that's what I do. You should, like, David, don't listen to me. Go listen to Goobertown, man. He'll put you right to sleep. I mean that with the most respect possible, that he's got a very dulcet and soothing voice. Watch Duncan Rhodes till I fell asleep. I don't know that Duncan is what I would choose to fall asleep. He's got like this kind of. I guess he does have like some, I don't know, verve. Duncan's got some verve. He's got some verve in his voice. I can understand that. They'll be happier when you do it. What? Oh, I gotta be happier when I do Goobertown? Oh, wow, I really love this Dominatrix. Oh, it's the best. Oh, Tyranids are really the greatest thing ever. Sculpting Tyranids is so rewarding because you don't really have to worry about anything. It's just all organic matter. So if you get one arm and it looks a little different from the other arm, that's cool, friend, because it's all the magic of evolution. Yeah, you think Duncan is excitable. Man, you should see me get going. I'm pretty damn excitable. Oh yeah, back to Goobertown Hobbies, Sculpting a Dominatrix. Oh yeah, look at my little Dominatrix friend here. Okay, I'm getting a little bit obsessive here. I'm just messing with these weird shapes at the end of the arms, and I should just move on and fix this part, but I think I'm trying to avoid it. Well, David, I hope you get to sleep soon, because your kids are not going to let you sleep once they're up. I do not have kids. And there was a time when I assumed I was going to have kids, because I think I was raised from birth to assume that I was going to be a dad and I was going to have kids. And everyone's like, you'd be a great dad. You're so much fun. You're so crazy. You'd be a great dad. And I never stopped to ask myself, did I want to have kids? So I am blessed to be married to a very, very intelligent woman who is also a social worker, which is good times, and free social work. Oh yeah, anyone married to a social worker gets me. And she was like, "Yeah, but do you want to have kids?" I was like, "Of course. You're the sculpting father of thousands." Oh, that's cute. I'll be your sculpting daddy. No tentacles if I'm your sculpting daddy. That's just gross. So yeah, my wife's like, "But do you want to have kids?" I'm like, "Do you want to have kids? Oh my god. Work at 8 a.m., David? Go to bed." I'm like, "Yeah, of course I want to have kids. You kidding me? I've wanted to have kids my whole life." She's like, "No, but like, have you ever actually considered not having kids? And what your life would be like if you didn't have kids?" And I was kind of stunned by that. I'm like, you know, I've never considered what my life would be like if I didn't have kids. I just always assumed I was going to have them. And she's like, "Yeah, and what about like the financial problem or financial problems, the financial challenges of having kids? Like they're not cheap, they're expensive." And I'm like, "Yeah, but like if that'll figure itself out." It's like, "Really? How's it going to figure itself out?" I'm like, just figure it out. It'll be fine. Have kids, figure out the financial stuff." And it's like, "Yeah, but like what if you didn't have to worry about that? What if you just focused on what you wanted to do and didn't have kids?" So that was when I really started thinking about it. And I love kids. And I love playing with my friends' kids. I love hanging out with my friends' kids. Can't wait to meet my nephew. He's on the other side of the world right now. But yeah, and then I just started thinking about like what would happen if I didn't have kids. And like I think a lot of people have kids, like I said, because they always assumed they were going to have kids. Look at me talking about this crap that probably no one cares about. Too bad, suckers. This is my stream, and I got no one to talk to, so I'm just talking to myself. But honestly, like I like saying this because I want to encourage other people to ask themselves these questions before they make the obvious jumps, or the jumps that feel obvious, or the jumps that everyone expects them to make. Um, Again, I was very lucky. Like when we got married, we had like a non-traditional wedding. We had like a small wedding because we wanted it to be our own wedding. We didn't want to have the wedding that everyone else expected us to have. Um, it is really something you should think about. Yeah, I agree, Adam, that I think having kids is something you should think about. And I think a lot of people, they think about the having kids part. They don't think about the not having kids part. They don't ask themselves like, okay, but what would my life be like if I didn't have kids? And how do I feel about that? And yeah, like it might feel like you've got like this huge hole in your life and that you're really missing that and you really wish you had it. But it could also be that you have time for yourself and time for like more time for your hobbies, more time for like your partner and like for adventures, like, well, before COVID hit, traveling, but who knows if we're ever going to get to do that again. Hutch, hey buddy. I ask myself every day what my life would be like without nids. Did you mean to say nids or kids, man? That's too perfect. I ask myself, okay, well, like, no joke. I'm not having a life without nids. That's just crazy. As if I would have a life without nids. They were my first love. Actually, part of my revision, my cleaning up my man cave was putting an actual bookshelf in here and putting this in here. You know I meant nids, bro. Hutch, you better meant nids. Look at da na 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 boom 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 da. Anyway, this is my first codex ever. This was the first Warhammer book I owned before the rule book and all that shit. And look, it's got a little like I was like, oh man, I gotta get a case for this. You know what this is? This is the plastic cover that comes with Indominus. They put your rulebook stuff in here. Not your rulebook, like the little inserts. So I got the plastic cover on there because I don't want to kill this. Oh shit. My Norn Queen's calling me. I don't know what to do about that. So anyway, yeah. Life without nids, not an option. Yeah. I might have to wrap this up soon, actually, but we'll see. Yeah, definitely no life without nids, but life without kids, think about it. If you're not sure whether you want to have kids, think about what it might be like to not have kids. But the key thing is to talk to your partner about it and to be like open and honest and don't like. I guess you got to meet each other where each other is. And it was tough because when my wife said to me like, "Do you want to not have kids?" It was tough because like we talked about it and we've kind of said more models. Oh, I missed that. I just saw I'd have more money for models, but someone else comment on something so I can read the rest of David's thing. Yeah, you'd have more money for models without kids. You also have more time for models without kids. But then like you don't have kids, so you gotta like it can't just be models. I wouldn't models are not a good reason to not have kids. That is not why I decided to not have kids. Thanks, David. Uh, I get to teach them how to paint and sculpt. David, as I'm showing you right now, you don't need kids to teach someone how to sculpt. I mean, won't put you in models won't put you in a retirement home. Yeah, well, that's the thing is, Hutch, that yeah, models won't put you in a retirement home, but it is the case that you can't rely on your kids to help you when you get older. But there is the possibility that your kids will help you when you get older. Like, I'm in a situation where I have an older dad, and we help him out, and he's very fortunate to have us around because otherwise he would probably be in a home, and that would not be great for him, especially right now, especially with COVID. But like, I think a lot of people count on their kids to be not necessarily carers, but to like kind of be there for them. And I think some people probably count on their kids to be like their friends when they're older, or at least like be around. But as my very astute Norn Queen said, like, what if your kids are dicks? Or what if you and your kids have a falling out? And what if your kids are not there for you when you're older? And like you can't rely on that. You can't bet on that. You gotta hope that your kids are gonna be around for you, but they might not be. Like anything can happen. They can move to the other side of the world. They could have their own things that they gotta worry about. They could have their own kids that they gotta deal with. So yeah, having someone to take care of you when you're older probably not a good reason to have kids. That's why you want to have kids. I think you should think more about it. And honestly, one of the things that got her onto this is apparently there's like a child-free Reddit. She's like queen of Reddit. I don't Reddit. She read it. She read it for me. So, God, I'm just moving right out of here, aren't I? Oh, I can do that. That's cool. Yeah, so like the child-free Reddit, I think is interesting in that there's a bunch of people there who have like had these conversations and have these thoughts, and like they, some people post about like what they do with their life when they don't have kids. I'm learning that Reddit is the best, but I don't know. Call me old school, but something in the format pisses me off, so I don't really Reddit that much. God, this arm is coming out well. So fucking happy with this. Look at these curves and shit. Man. Damn. All right, that's cool. Very proud. Yeah, just to be clear, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I mean, I have an idea, I more know how to get somewhere with sculpting, but I don't know where I'm going to arrive. 36, I live in a pretend world where everyone that posts on Reddit is 25 to 36. I don't understand that reference such. Oh, you pretending that you're young and hip? Like all the people posting on Reddit? Is that what you mean? Um, yeah, sculpting. Learning how to sculpt is just getting the like tools and strategies to like get you. Oh god, I'm horrible. I'm getting this. Keep moving further and further off frame. Learning to sculpt is getting the tools to like get you somewhere, but you never really know where you're going to arrive until you get there. It's like some people describe writing as they don't actually know who their characters are, and their characters kind of reveal themselves to them. So a lot of sculpting is, I don't know, I'm 25 and I think Reddit is for incels mostly. Okay, there's good parts of Reddit too, Jacob. It's not just for incels. I think you're looking at the wrong parts of Reddit if you think it's for incels. There are good parts to it too. Interesting parts where people have real conversations, not just incels. So yeah, I don't ever go into a sculpting project being like, I know exactly what I'm gonna do, and I know exactly how I'm gonna get there, and I don't plan, I just do. There was this thing I ran across when I was in high school, and it said, don't think, create! And that's really what I do. I have a strategy. You like the new bits? The new bits of Reddit? I get it. Alright, so I have like an idea of where I want to go, roughly, but I'm getting there my own way. But this is looking like a Tyranid limb with like the like indents and stuff, like way more than my other stuff that I sculpted. Like this is looking like crap by comparison, so I'm gonna have to fix that by cutting it down. But let's see how this fits. Yo, son! That's looking pretty good. Oh, I swear to God, a raccoon just like took a shit outside my door. It smells like crap in here. As I'm working in the garage, I got the screen door open. Oh man, this is looking good. Wow, I should do this on stream all the time. I feel like I sculpt better on stream. Seriously, raccoons, why are you taking shits outside my door? It smells so bad. Wow, this turned out pretty well. Man, cool. Oh god, it smells so bad. So glad it's not smell-o-vision. Okay. Oh, and I should do this bit in here now that I see. Like I started out by sculpting all that ribbing in there for where it was going to connect to the body. Completely obliterated it, but that's fine because it wasn't that important or good to begin with. I taught my brother how to drive it. What? Don't think, just do. Most of the time the logical part of your brain will fill in the gaps. I don't know if that works so well with driving, David. I mean, I'm glad it worked for your brother, and that it's worked out for the people who are driving around your brother. But I'd say you might want to do a little more than just, yeah, just go by feel, man. Hey, that's a red light. What do? I don't know, man. How do you feel? You feel like stopping? Feel like going? Just go by feel. No, I'm being facetious, but hey, I'm glad it worked for your brother. And it is the case that like driving, you can get too much in your own head. My sister tried to drive up a phone pole. Jacob, I'd say you don't let your sister drive anymore. Certainly not your car. Driving up phone poles is not a good... Yeah, overthinkers, certainly. Wasn't there a condition where people can blank out for minutes driving and the body autopilots? Hutch, I swear I've been there where I've been driving and I've kind of blanked out and the body just like goes for it. So I don't know if that's a condition so much as like the human condition. But Jacob, don't let your sister drive up telephone poles. That's not a good idea. The worst is when you like are tired and driving. God, I hate it. That is a dangerous situation to be in. I've been there and it's not good. You drive up telephone poles for hours every day, Jacob? That's really interesting. I don't know if you should be admitting that on YouTube. I know what you mean. Blank out, let your body go on autopilot. Yeah, driving while tired is not good. And of course, I'm a stupid man, so I don't just pull over and like rest like I should. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna turn up the air conditioning and make it really cold in here and play really loud music, and I'm gonna get through this. And I should just pull over like a smart person, not like a stupid man. Okay, I'm not loving this so much, but this part is not important. It's basically never gonna see it. Same strategy. Farting in a car. Yeah, I've done that too. Smelled as bad as this raccoon shit outside my door. God damn. That doesn't look so bad in there. I want this ridge to be more sharp, but I guess I can go in and do that after. Really, I should just leave it because the rest of it is so good, and if I mess around with this too much, I'm probably going to screw up the part I really like. Oh, that's good, though. Pushing in and getting a little bigger divots. Okay, pay attention to what's going to be seen. This is how it's going to be seen. This part, probably not so much. So this, I want this to be good in here. God, raccoon farts, the worst. Is this for a commission? Oh, yeah, Hutch. Yeah, this is for a commission. This is actually a commission that I got last year in about May, June, July. So this guy's he's very patient. I warned him. Listen, David, pokey stick ball might be useful getting in there. A little backseat sculpting going on here. Maybe you should go and drive up a telephone pole. Yeah, maybe the pokeball would be good for getting in there, Mr. Pink. Maybe you should learn to sculpt. God damn it, you're right. This is called a ball burnisher tool. And as David so rightly pointed out, this is the thing I was looking for this whole time. I'm just so dependent on my... God, David, you get all the points. Good work, man. You've paid attention. I'm so dependent on my silicone shaper that I forgot I had this wonderful tool. Different size ball on either end. So you need a smaller ball right there. And it's definitely good for poking in here and then dragging out here to get these shapes. I'm worried I'm poking this too much, but he's such a man. I'm worried I'm poking this too much. Oh, God, I'm annoying. Yeah, this is the tool for the job. Good call. Being shown up by the peanut gallery. That's always good. But what do we say about not being a stupid man? Do what you gotta do when you gotta do it. Don't pretend you knew better. Definitely the tool for the job. I am just... Oh, it's because I can't really see behind this thing. That's why I keep moving out of frame. This is the back, so this doesn't really matter. But yeah, this is a commission, Hutch. It is a Tyranid Dominatrix, based on the other Dominatrix I did. And yeah, my client has been really patient, which I really appreciate. When they asked me to do the commission, I hadn't actually started on the Crew project, the Siege of Petch project. So when that kicked off, I was like, oh man, I got this Dominatrix commission though. I don't know if I can do it. Like, I don't know if I can do the Siege of Petch, but I really want to. So I just like asked my client and he's like, oh, Earthman Brick. Thanks, buddy. Yeah, so when I asked my client, I'm like, hey, I know I'm supposed to be making you that Dominatrix, but I really want to do this Crew thing. Would it be okay if I kind of like put the Dominatrix on the back burner and did this Crew project? And he's like, yeah, totally, man. No worries. I think he even said, like, I want to see what you do with Crew. That's really cool. So he's basically a dream client. So thank you very much if you see this video. I probably shouldn't say your name. But, oh, he's on Instagram. You can follow him on Instagram. He does some Tyranid stuff. And I think I tagged him on one of my recent Dominanid posts. Crew model on your blog. Oh, Hutch, you haven't seen my Crew? Yeah, okay. So you should really look me up on Instagram. A lot of stuff's on Instagram. There's some stuff on the blog, yes. If you look on the blog, it's called Siege of... I guess it's Siege of Peck, but it's spelled P-E-C-H. And I've posted about that recently. I'm sorry, I don't post on my blog as much as I should. Because social media... God damn, I keep doing that. Sorry. Social media is evil. Well, it's useful in that it's a lot easier to post on than a blog. But I did post about Siege of Peck on my blog, and you can see the Crew there. The idea is it's not just a Crew model, it's a Crew army. About a decade ago, I made a Crew Tyranid Hunter for my brother for his birthday present, and I loved the concept so much that I kept wanting to come back and explore it more as a full force. And then these two dudes on Instagram, they wanted for Adepticon last year, the Adepticon that never happened, 2020, they wanted to do a full Kroot army, like a team army, 4 people on it, everyone fielding Kroot. So they posted up on Instagram. Checking out, so that's such a cool concept. Yeah, man. So they wanted to do a whole Kroot army. And I was like, that sounds like a good idea. And they literally just like in August of 2019, they posted on Instagram, hey, who wants to join this like big team Kroot project to go to Adepticon? And I'm just like, yeah, I want to do that. Because for Kit Bash Chamber 2018, I started exploring the Kroot Tyranid Hunter concept. And I made like a kind of a squad of different dudes. And then I really wanted to expand it someday to a full army. So when I saw this opportunity, this idea, I was like, that is a great idea. That is a great way to explore this concept. So I'm going to join this team thing to go to Adepticon because I'd never been to Adepticon before. Still have never been to Adepticon because COVID, which was fortunate because I stopped working on the Dominatrix to work on the Kroot project, and promptly spent too much time thinking about Kroot and futzing around and not enough time thinking about building a whole army. So I was way behind the ball. So as much as COVID sucks and that it canceled Adepticon and made it so we couldn't go there, it was a savior because I was not ready to go to Adepticon. That meant that I got to sleep in the month of March because otherwise I would not have been able to. It would have been all Kroot all the time. So yeah, client's been very patient, but honestly I really want to get him this Dominatrix because it's been a while now. It's been a year. And I just want to see it done because I feel guilty that I haven't finished it yet, even if he is very patient. But damn, damn! Oh man, it gave me a chance to, oh, Jacob, I didn't see, oh yeah, Jacob's on the Kroot team. Woo, Jacob, fostered son. He's one of our Kroot team members. Actually, comment again, I didn't see that. It went away too quick. I was too busy looking at sculpting. But yeah, so David is also doing Kroot. It's crazy. I think there's like 20 people on the team now. Maybe more. Maybe they're getting up near 30. The 2 guys who started it, oh, Hutch, check out Ironbeak Mercenaries. Yeah, Ironbeak Mercenaries and that Kroot guy. Chance to start a Kroot army too, yeah. So Hutch, if you're not on Instagram, hobby Instagram, it's very good. But these, yeah, so Ironbeak Mercenaries and that Kroot guy, they're on Instagram. They post a lot of Kroot stuff. And they're the ones who started the whole Siege of Peck team tournament project. And they've got a lot of cool Kroot. Ironbeak does Admech Kroot, and that Kroot guy does a ton of stuff. Right now he's doing like kind of Necron, kind of swampy Kroot. But he's had other Kroot projects before, and there's some other really cool Kroot dudes on there. If you want to know more about that, go over to my website, modernsynthesis.com. Remember the T on synthesis, because you're not going to find it otherwise. And I have a post about a post about Siege of Peck, and I think and I've got a podcast episode about it. The podcast episode is what you want, because that talks about aren't they on Advanced Tau Tactica as well? Is Advanced Tau Tactica still a thing, David? I thought that was like gone the way of the dodo. So I don't know if they're on Advanced Tau Tactica as well. They might be. I don't know. We've got a Discord, not like a shitty Arch Discord, but like a real Discord, where we just talk about Kroot stuff all the time. So they post a lot on there, but Ironbeak posts a lot on Instagram as well. So that's probably the best way to follow their work. Honestly, if you're not on hobby Instagram, I know there's some bullshit on Instagram as well. Nothing is sacred these days, but there is some good shit on hobby Instagram. And you just have to look up the hashtag Siege of Peck, P-E-C-H, and you'll find all the Kroot stuff, and you can follow the Kroot people. And that is also where I'm most active, is hobby Instagram. Can't get off Twitter. Twitter's the worst, Touch. Man, like, I gave up on Instagram for July, and I only used Twitter, and I felt worse for it. So many good people not on Twitter. Yeah, you need to get on Instagram. The thing about Twitter is, like, Twitter's fine, hobby Twitter's fine, but there's a lot of talk on hobby Twitter and not a lot of action. Yes, I agree, Adam. Twitter is confusing. I mean, I use it. I have to use it for my job, but it is confusing. The thing with hobby Twitter... Twitter is hard to read, Adam. I agree. The thing with hobby Twitter is that, like, there's some good stuff that goes on there, but there's also a lot of just, like, junk. Like, if I gotta see one more post that's, like, Oh, I got a joke for you. I got a Tyranid joke for you, but you wouldn't get it because swarm joke. I mean, it's cute, but I want to see the models. Hobby Instagram is all about the models. Put up or shut up. I mean, you can post memes if you suck, but usually you just got to post your models. So that's what I like because I'm a visual person and I want to see all your cool models and I want to get inspired by them. And I just want a stream of cool models. And that's what Hobby Instagram is. So, Hutch, if you need pointers to find cool people on Hobby Instagram, you just, if you're on Instagram, send me a PM, Modern Synthesist, and be like, hey, I'm Hutch. I was on the stream. And I will link you to some cool people like Adam, Between the Bolter and Me, who's on here now. I think I can link you to Fostered Son as well. I think he's on there. But I can link you with Crew Boys. Some amazing people who are only on Hobby Instagram and not on Hobby Twitter are Weirding's Way. Oh my god, that guy. Super talented. He is amazing. The Polysmith. He's got a Twitter, but he doesn't really use it. He's not doing a lot of hobby right now, but he's got so much good stuff in his back catalog. Like, next level. So I could link you to him. Bits of Box, a good friend of mine who's a genius. I never post anything, but I'll help you follow good people. Jacob Foster. I use Insta as a painting log. Currently working on a creature caster model. Oh, cool. David, can you send me a message on Instagram? Are we connected on Instagram? I want to see your painting log. I'm a modern synthesist on Instagram, and I can check out your stuff. Yeah, there's a lot of really talented people on Instagram. Colonel K0ERNL. He's amazing. So yeah, Hutch, just like send me a PM, send me a direct message on Instagram. You don't have to be like, it's easy on Instagram. It's not like Twitter where you need to be like following each other. You can direct message anyone on Instagram and say, hey, it's Hutch. I was on the stream, and I will hook you up with all the cool people that you need to follow. They're not cool people you need to follow. They're talented people who will probably give you cool ideas. Oh, and Tyranids, if you like Tyranids, because you said you're in it for the nids, Warp Shadow. It's a secondary account that I created to feature Tyranid stuff. So if you like Tyranid stuff, I can hook you up, man. We've got all kinds of good Tyranid stuff going on in Warp Shadow. Actually, if you guys like Tyranids, you should be on Warp Shadow right now. It's just the Instagram handle is at Warp Shadow, all one word. It's based on our old Tyranid forum that I helped run and was paying hosting fees for far too long. We got something kind of interesting happening on Warp Shadow right now. I'm not going to say very much, but you go there, you check out the Instagram profile, you're going to see a sketch. A couple sketches, I think. I've posted a couple by now. Yeah, there's something really interesting happening on Warp Shadow this month. And I'm not going to tell you what it is, but there's some teasers up there right now. And around about the end of the month, something big is going to drop on there. And it's going to be cool. And it's not going to be official. It's not official. It's not Games Workshop. It's just... God damn, fucking raccoons on the roof. It's just Tyranid hobbyists who love Tyranids doing fan stuff. But if you're a fan of Neil Blomkamp, and you were like excited about Neil Blomkamp making that Alien movie, and then you were like, oh my god, Neil Blomkamp, you like went and got some like concept art made for this Alien movie that you're not even going to direct yet. It's a bit like that, which is fucking ridiculous. It's nothing like that, but it's something like that. In that it's not official, but there might be some good shit coming soon, and it's not Hydrocast. It's not anything like that. There's no models. Just some cool ideas. So tune in. Had me at District 9. Yeah, I know, eh? So good. Short that YouTube. Oh, you mean Alive in Joburg, the original District 9, the short video? Hutch, I sincerely hope that you've seen all the Oat stuff on YouTube, the free videos, Oat Studios, like Zygote and all that, because if you like Blomkamp and you like District 9, you gotta see all that stuff. Jacob, don't worry about another Siege of Patchman. We're not finished the first one yet. In fact, we don't even have an Adepticon to go to. Like, the way everything's going in the United States right now, I am not planning. I don't think I'm going to be going to Adepticon in 2021, because honestly, I don't feel comfortable. So, you got all the time in the world, buddy. We might be going to Adepticon 2022 with Siege of Patch. Pack. Okay, I think it's supposed to be Pack, but I hate Pack. It's spelled P-E-C-H. It should be Patch. But I know it's a joke. It's a bird joke. They're crude. Pack, you know, Pack. Okay. That is looking fly. And what is the number one rule of sculpting? When you got it figured out, you stop. Because if you keep going, you're going to screw it up. And I do not want to screw this up because this is tight. That's pretty good. That side could use some work, but it's the back, so who cares? Also, my phone is telling me that my battery's going to die soon, so maybe I should just kill this. But, thanks, Hutch. I think it looks pretty good. I gotta put some vascular vents in here. I'm trying to decide where the best place for them would be. I think it would be right here. So I'm gonna clear this out. Thanks, Earthman Brick. Glad to have you on it, man. This is my second stream ever, so I just kind of put my phone on and hope for the best. So I'm glad that you all showed up, and I'm glad that you enjoyed it. Because it honestly wouldn't be fun without you, and it would just be me talking to myself about not having kids. So, if I was... Ultramarine logo. Checkered flag? What? I don't get it. So, if I wanted to, I could, like, sculpt an event right now, but I don't want to. I'm going to leave a gap here, and I'm going to clear this out. And I'm going to come back later. I like that little kind of hook thing happening there. So I'm going to take this out very carefully. I'm going to come back and add the vent there later. Okay, you know what? This should not be my first stream sculpting live because this has gone far better than I expected it to. And this is going to set up some really unrealistic expectations for the next one. So if you ever tune in to me streaming again, it will not be this good. It will not turn out this well. It'll be a lot of me swearing like a sailor as I screw things up over and over again. Oh, am I screwing this up now? God, there's so many flies in here. Gotta close that screen door. They're being attracted to the raccoon crab. Hey, Bob Latchclaw, what material are you using right now? Hey, buddy, I'm gonna save this so you can see the beginning, but I'm using Aves Apoxie Clay. If you've oh shit, battery low, I might die soon. I'm gonna kill this soon. Oh, I can plug it in. I'm a genius. So if you've followed my work before, you know that I love using Aves Epoxy Sculpt. And the fine folks at Aves, they sent me this little care package because I noticed they followed me on Instagram and I followed them. So I was like, hey guys, you guys are great. I think you're amazing. And they're like, hey, you're pretty cool too. So somehow they sent me some free stuff. So they sent me this little booster pack to try out some like different materials that they make. And in that booster pack was epoxy clay, which they advertise as being more like ceramic clay in terms of texture. It's still an epoxy putty, but I like it, and it's a little harder than epoxy putty. Phone is getting warm. Yeah, here we go again. I love to watch you mess up and swear and work through things. Well, there's a lot of that, Bob, so don't you worry. Yeah, this is epoxy clay. So it's a little denser than epoxy sculpt. It's also cures a little harder. So I started using it in places like this to like reinforce the joints because this is milliput and green stuff, milliput superfine white and green stuff. But then I just love epoxy stuff so much. It's better than milliput, I think, Earthman Brick. I don't love milliput. Like, full disclosure, can't really say why. I don't love it. I think it's unnecessarily messy. And when I use the yellow milliput, the yellow-gray... Oh god, I'm doing that thing where I screw up. I should have just left this. It was perfect, and now it's horrible. When I use yellow-gray milliput, it cures way too fast. And I don't love the texture. Adam tells me that it's really good for armor. And as I fall further into my Necron hole, I think I'm going to learn... Because I sculpt a lot of organics, right? So for organics, soft putty is good. And like stretchy putty is good. Like green stuff. Like epoxy sculpt. But as I have to sculpt more inorganic matter, like if I fall further into this Necron hole, I'm probably going to need to use Milliput Yellow, but right now I hate it because it dries so quick, and the texture's weird. It's like, I don't know, it feels flaky. Like, it feels like Fimo to me, and I'm not a fan of Fimo. It works great for Space Marine armor. Adam Weir. Milliput works great for Space Marine armor. Well, that's why I never use it, Adam, because Space Marines are crap. Yeah, sculpting stone. I've seen people do really good stuff with, that's a good point, Adam, with Milliput for doing like bases, like scenic bases, where they have to sculpt stone. But I don't know. So I'm really loving this epoxy clay so far. And really, my goal is to go pure epoxy all the time, like that amazing dude who's, oh God, I can't remember his name right now. He sculpts a mecha on Instagram. Adam, you'll know. He sculpts mecha on Instagram from scratch. Like, he sculpts friggin' Gundams from scratch using epoxy sculpt. He gets the stuff by like the crateful. So one day I want to be that guy. Calamity. Yes, thank you, Adam. So his name is Calamity with a K. Kalamity. You should look up Calamity because that dude is next level. You spelled his name wrong. I thought it was Calamity. Kalamity. Something like Calamity. Look that up on Instagram and hope for the best. I use Milliput because it's cheap as heck, works really well for smoothing with water. Also, you can sand it once dried, unlike green stuff. Okay, Archman block, Earthman block. If you want an alternative to Milliput, you just described Epoxy Putty. Epoxy Putty is really cheap. You can sand it when it's dry. You can modify... Oh, that was good, and I ruined it. You can modify it with water. Oh, Calamity has two L's in it. Kallamity. You gotta look this person up. He sculpts mecha from scratch using epoxy sculpt. God, that's what I want to be when I grow up. I want to be Calamity when I grow up. The stuff that hand lotion all the time. That's right, David. The stuff that Calamity gets up to with epoxy sculpt is really inspiring. So I want to be there one day. So I'm just trying to go pure epoxy sculpt. I started off using it to reinforce stuff on this model, but maybe I'm just gonna keep going with the epoxy clay and see how it goes. I should actually get out my epoxy fix-it as well that they sent me and see what that's all about. I feel like Milliput chips really easily when dry, at least in my experience. Adam, you can probably comment on that, but yes, I feel the same way, Jacob. Hutch, I'm impressed that you can use epoxy sculpt straight up because it's definitely challenging. It's very soft. So I've done it straight up, used it straight up, but I do love mixing epoxy sculpt with green stuff because I like the stretchiness that green stuff lends to it. However, I feel like epoxy fix-it is getting there. Like when I mixed it up and I tried it, that's the other stuff that I haven't used as much that they sent. It was like weirdly stretchy. Like it kind of felt like mixing epoxy sculpt. Can't be true. Okay, so yeah, Adam endorses that Milliput is more brittle, which I do not love. This is why I hate clay, like earthen clay. Too brittle. But yeah, Aves Apoxie Fix-It. It felt to me initially like green stuffish. That it was a bit like epoxy sculpt mixed with green stuff straight out of the box. So I gotta check that out. Ooh, I'm getting like a cat eye thing here. You see that? That's kind of neat. Okay, I'm gonna fuck this up if I don't stop soon. We just checked mine. I use Aves Apoxie too. Yeah, that's epoxy sculpt. If you're using epoxy sculpt, Hutch, it's Aves. Are you using epoxy clay, epoxy sculpt? Probably epoxy sculpt. That's the one that is most popular, but the other types are good too. Yes. Yeah. So yeah, Earthman Brick. If you're in Scotland, woo, yeah, Scotland. It's tougher to get epoxy sculpt. You can get it there. I lived in Warwick for a time, and I think that's the West Midlands, and I was able to get it from a taxidermy shop in Wales. They shipped me over epoxy sculpt. It was amazing. I called this taxidermy sculpt in Wales, taxidermy shop in Wales, and I didn't know much about the Welsh. And the dude who answered the phone, like I swear he sounded like he had a Rastafarian accent, but it was just a Welsh accent. He was like, "Oh yeah, I put it on the transporter for you." I'm like, "The what?" He's like, "The transporter." I'm like, "The transporter? Is this Star Trek?" He just meant he was gonna like ship it to me, but it was pretty awesome. Oh, am I gonna go like next level and do like a cat eye the opposite direction at the other end? You guys are so lucky you're watching. This is some Forge World caliber shit right here. Oh, wait. God, this arm is working out really well. Okay, I'm gonna do another live stream. Y'all gotta be here because I don't think I can do this without you. This is too good. C'est très bon. Fly, get off my shit. I hate you. Oh, it's très bon. Wow. All right, that's kind of cool. Oh, this is getting a little close to here, though. I'm not loving that. Wales is where they filmed Doctor Who. Yes, Welsh accents are pretty gnarly. It's where Anthony Hopkins is from. I did not know Anthony Hopkins was from Wales, but oh, Fly, I hate you. Newfoundland accents, Hutch, are the best. Oh yeah, bye. What you doing there, bye? Think I might go get screeched in later. I'm not amazing at it. I should practice my Newfie accent. If you do it at this time, it works out perfect for me. So, Jacob. Yes, Jacob, this works out for you, but it doesn't work for David because David needs to go to sleep and get up at 8 in the morning because he's got kids. But I want to do streams kind of regularly on Wednesdays because it's an excuse to make sure I do hobby on Wednesday, and it's working whip Wednesday. Good to plan for. But yeah, Doctor Who's definitely filmed in Wales. I was dating a limey girl, and she took me to Cardiff. Cardiff. She took me to Cardiff for my birthday. And she showed me that Torchwood sculpture thing at the Millennium Center or whatever, like where the Torchwood elevator is in that. So, yeah. I've been to Wales, briefly, just to Cardiff. Their Parliament is amazing. They got this crazy Parliament building. I love it. That looks like it's a Doctor Who set, their Parliament building. Yeah, I was dating someone who's a big politics nerd, so I've seen the Parliament buildings in Edinburgh, in Wales. The Edinburgh one was pretty impressive too. So modern, like fucking England. It's got their shit together. Or sorry, not England, Scotland, Wales. Got their shit together. Like North America, Canada, we've got the friggin' old ass Victorian buildings, trying to pretend we've still got culture and well, no shit, that's a horrible thing to say. We're hanging on to that classic European history. We got our old ass Parliament buildings. Oh, they're so pretty. And then you go over to Wales and Scotland, and they've built these beautiful new things that are way better than our old dirty Victorian crap that we have to keep restoring. Oh man, this is looking good. I think I should just stop. Oh, okay, and now what? Now what's gonna happen? I'm gonna have to go over here. I'm gonna have to tear. See, this is what I'm saying. Sculpting's a pain in the ass because you come here and you do this amazing work, and then you go back and you're like, oh, look at this garbage. I'm gonna have to tear all this shit out and do it again. Munich, München. Oh man. Yeah, fortunately our architecture isn't fully living in the past, Earthman Brick. If you ever watched Star Trek Next Generation, Toronto's City Hall was featured as like an alien structure because it's kind of cool. But yeah, we still need some cool new architecture. I love cool new architecture. Okay, so look at this garbage side. And look at this style and profile and amazingness. I gotta go back and tear all this shit out. God damn. Well, glad I've got a good reference. I'm glad I got this done. And I'm glad I actually produced something for you folks to look at because I honestly thought I was just going to be filling in crap. And look at that. You inspired me to do something pretty goddamn amazing. I'm really happy with how this turned out. And yeah, I think I should call it. So thank you so much for joining the stream. I will try to do this regularly on Wednesdays. How about I say that? Can't guarantee it, but I think it's probably a good time. Yes, I do need to do more of my live streams, Jacob, because this is how I'm going to get this damn thing done, and how I'm going to do it well, apparently, because frig. Look at this. I'll end it with Captain Janeway is greater than Picard. What? Sounds pretty awesome. Love Star Trek until the newer shows. Where did we get in the Star Trek? Did I say that? No, I still think Picard's better than Janeway. Janeway's fine, though. Yep, I will, Bob. I'll try. But yeah, this is cool. This has been good. And try scheduling your streams and I'll watch. I don't know how to schedule streams, David. People have yelled at me for this. I'm a YouTube noob. Like, I post videos, but I'll look into that. I'll look into how to schedule them so people know, because I know... Oh, I'll ask Adam. He knows how to do this. Or maybe it's Eric. They always schedule stuff. Thanks for coming, Adam. It's great to have you here. I gotta pay you back for all your good streams. Yeah, I'll find a way to schedule the stream so that people know it's happening. Because I know people gave me shit last time for not... I guess, yeah, I could just announce it. You're right, Jacob. Gave me shit last time for not warning them that this was happening. But really, it was... I was just like, I'm gonna try a stream. I might break it. Lols. And let me know how the quality is. Because when I looked at it, the quality was garbage. But if you can still see stuff, that's good. Do more hobby streams where I'm working on stuff. Yeah, just like, you have your rig set up, Adam, so you should just start filming when you sit down. That's kind of what I did. Well, yeah, but I don't know. I overthink it. When am I going to do that hobby stream? I don't know. Is now the perfect time? Like, I was supposed to cut out Gaunts tonight to trade with someone, but I did this instead. Because cutting out Gaunts is not pretty to look at. Okay, that's good that the quality's good, Adam. Because when I watched it, I thought it looked like it was like 480. Not 1080. So we'll get the better camera. It might do things better. But for now, I'm glad this is good enough. Okay, really? I'm going to stop sculpting now because this is good enough and I'm going to ruin it. Because that's what you do. Hutch Picard was better than Janeway, but the new show completely reverses that he's become... Yeah, the new Picard is fine, but it's not great. The ending pissed me off. Overthinking and convince yourself not doing it. Yes, the secret to sculpting is stopping. That's how you get good. Get it to a decent place and then stop. I want this point to be better, though. It's okay, Hutch. You should still watch Picard. There's some good shit in there. Like, if you watched STNG, you should watch Picard. It's still worth it. Yes, thank you, Adam. I do need to stop. But, Hutch, you should watch Picard. Watch at least the first few episodes. I think, like, once you get to, like... Adam's channel is Between the Bolter and Me. You all need to go and look up Between the Bolter and Me. They're good times. Adam does a lot of hobby streams, and they have an awesome Instagram profile. They have a really good blog. They're really big on doing realistic weapons for human models, realistic scale humans, realistic scale space marines, that kind of stuff, but not in a boring, chumpy way. Like, they do it really well. So yeah, look up Between the Bolter and Me. That's where Adam's from. And he has lots of good tips. But yes, Hutch, watch Picard. You can watch like the first 4 or 5 episodes. The first episode might be a little rough, but I think you should try it because there's some good, like, STNG fan service in there. Like, I got a little choked up sometimes. Hokey, but if you watch STNG, I think it's worth it. Especially if you're like a super duper STNG fan. Like, there was some stuff in there where I'm like, who's that again? Oh, right, okay, that character. I forgot about that character. But they remembered. Okay, I'm done. Enough. Where's my cork to shove this in so I don't destroy it? Is this going to work? Part where I don't stab myself. Part where I don't break the arm. Okay. Oh, you bastard. Oh, you fucking bastard. Ah! And I stabbed myself. Where's that thing? There's that thing. This thing. Infernal device. Preserve my wonder. You know who uses these infernal devices? Polysmith, all the time. Uses this infernal device. Well, there she be. Bob's your uncle. You need a handle with a pin vise in it? Oh, that's smart. You finish up publishing, you can throw it in your bio, same with the link. I didn't catch that, Jacob. What should I put in the link? You can throw it in your bio, same link. Guys, I don't really know what you're talking about. Yeah, robot's taking all the gerbs. Well, the robot can't sculpt it yet, so that's good. All right, so we're done. Thank you so much for joining the stream. You inspired me to do some really amazing work on this arm. Let's do the old sword and steel. Look at that. Look at that. God. Amazed. I really appreciate it. Oh, shit. Do I need to put a vent on the back? I do, don't I? This is the part where I run it. No one's going to see this. Quick job. Maybe I can put a little... No, fuck it. I don't care about putting a little cute thing on it. This is the vent that nobody sees. This is the vent that nobody sees. Here's the part where I fuck up and swear. So, who was that? Bob? Is it Bob? Who's into the fucking up and the swearing? Oh, Bob's still on. This is the vent that nobody sees. This is the vent that nobody sees. This is the vent that nobody sees. Why do I care about the stupid vent? Man, I wish I'd done the other arm like this. I have to cut it all away and start again. Anybody try The Expanse? David, are you fucking kidding? It's like you don't know me at all. Thank you, Hutch. The Expanse is fantastic. Definitely watch it. It's filmed in my city. You're welcome. Expanse is really good. It's if you liked the whole like the more realistic aspects of Battlestar Galactica, like the fact that they actually fired bullets and like missiles and stuff like that, you're gonna like The Expanse. Because they don't have anti-gravity on their ships. The only way they have gravity is by driving really friggin' fast. So yeah, check out The Expanse. I cannot recommend it enough. That's my other... If you follow me on Twitter, you probably got enough Expanse for a lifetime. Oh crap. I thought I did the thing where I shoved my hand in the other side. Ooh, I managed not to. Okay, this is the part where I stop sculpting. I need to get third series and fourth. I would almost say that Expanse is better than BSG. Because like BSG is a bit navel-gazy at points. I don't know, I feel like The Expanse is more expansive. But I love it. And it's also, like, really good. One of the greatest things about The Expanse is that they have representation without it being some, like, stupid plot device. Like, people are just from all different walks of life in The Expanse. And, like, fuck, Mars was settled by Texans and Southeast Asians and... What was the other group? Because they were like the intrepid hardcore people who like wanted to go and get shit done. So, it's good times. There's no there's not Cylon anxiety on The Expanse. There's something anxiety on The Expanse, but it's worth it. This is the vent that nobody sees. This is the vent that nobody sees. This is me reminding myself not to obsess, but I think I'm already there. David, I'm glad you asked about The Expanse, because you got to get that in your life. Oh, wait, but what I'm going to say, if you watch The Expanse, have patience. You need to watch at least the first 4 episodes before you decide whether you like it. Because the first couple episodes are slow. And after the 4th episode, it starts to get going, but I'm going to warn you that the first season is slow. I haven't seen the slow, though. Yeah, slow burn. First season of The Expanse, slow burn. It's kind of like a gumshoe kind of investigation thing, but... After the first season of The Expanse, second season... Oh, fuck, did I just shove my hand in this? The second season of The Expanse can be a little slow at points, but, like, 3rd, 4th season, it just takes off. And 4th season, they got Amazon money. I would say the second season isn't really balls to the wall in The Expanse yet. It kind of does, like, 2 things. It's good. It's really good. But the second season, definitely better than the first. 3rd season, definitely better than the second. And the 4th season is just Amazon money. And you can see it. You can like see the Amazon money in the pixels. It's amazing. Yeah, I can't wait to see the 5th season. Fun fact: they've already filmed the 5th season, but they just haven't decided when to release it yet. And if you have read the books in The Expanse, I actually stumbled on them filming Baltimore. Baltimore should make sense to you if you feel in the books. If you've read the books, yeah, and they picked a really good part of Toronto to film Baltimore. It was amazing. I went up to a member of the crew, and I'm like, "Are you guys filming Baltimore right now?" Because I'm a nerd. And he's like, "No, this is The Expanse." I'm like, No, I get it. But, like, are you guys filming, like, the part in Baltimore right now? He's like, "Oh, sorry, man. I don't know." I'm like, damn it. I'm an uber nerd. But yeah, 5th season's gonna be good. Gonna be so good. Yes, they're books. So David, season Venus was careful, Hutch. Don't say too much. They are books, David, and they're yes. The first one is called Leviathan Wakes. They're very easy to read. I got them on ebook because they're like super easy to read. Very kind of they don't drag. There's no George R. R. Martin. I'm gonna take 3 pages to describe like a meal. There's none of that. Like I read Song of Ice and Fire, but there's times when I hate it. Expanse has got like a pretty good clip in the books. And the TV show, it's interesting. Like the authors of the Expanse are involved with the TV show. So the way I think about it is that I don't know, they haven't said this, but it seems like the TV show is like their opportunity to kind of revise the books. Not in a bad way, not in a revisionist history way, just in like a there's some stuff I've heard of Red Rising. There's some stuff that they do in the show that's different from the books, and it's not that thing where you're like, oh my god, why did they change this in the show? I'm so pissed off. This was different in the books. They changed it in the show, and you're like, oh shit, yeah, that makes sense. Like that almost makes more sense than how it went down in the book. And like they like revive. There's like some characters who aren't there, but they handle it very well. There's even like some bits where in the book a character is supposed to die, and then they give that role to a different character in the TV show, and they make it look like they're gonna die. And you're like, oh fuck, they're gonna kill this character. That's how that character dies in the books. And then they're like, psych, they don't kill them. It's like, oh my god, you guys are just playing with the hearts of book readers. I love it, making fun of us morons. This is the vent that nobody sees. This is the vent that nobody sees. With that in mind, I think I'm done. God, just please be done. Oh, fuck, done. Goodbye. Good night. I don't even know what time it is. Man. Hopefully it's not super late. Oh. Can we do this? I don't. Whoa, no, I'm gonna fuck it up. Okay, I'm gonna leave it. Okay, that's it. Bye. Thank you so much. And this is the part where I freak out about posting this. So I think I just close it, and then we'll post it. So that has been the stream for today. 3 a.m. Go to bed, David. You have kids and work tomorrow. Bob, have a party. All right, thanks, dudes. See you later. We'll sculpt some more Dominatrix another time. Good night. Stop streaming, yes.